There's freedom for you. There's a love for you like no other. And that love only comes from Jesus Christ. You see, I've done recovery all secular with a higher power of my own understanding. And my understanding is this big. I could not fathom how to forgive others, let alone myself. So I would relapse over and over and over again because the anger and the bitterness and the resentment would cause me to continue to keep going back out. And I've done it all religion, where pastors would say, just come up to the altar and lay it down, and instantly you'll be healed and free. And then 3 days later, I'd be back in a bag again, or I'd be lost in a bottle. And I thought something was wrong with me, and maybe God just didn't love me. But I want you to know that when you bring Jesus and recovery together, it changes everything. It changes everything. It's generational curse breaking. It's legacy transformation. There are 6 things that I know I need to do in order to never pick up and to never use again. And the first one is I got to go to meetings. I need other recovery people. Iron sharpens iron. I need people that I can be real with, that when life happens, I can go say, hey, life is lifing. I need to get a sponsor, and I have an amazing sponsor. I need someone who knows how to lead me through this and walk me through this, who I can go to and I can spill all my garbage to. And she can revert back to the steps in the Bible and show me how I'm made new and I'm a new creation. I need to do the steps. You see, I would get to the 4th step over and over and over again, and out of fear, I would stop. And I would go back and I would pick up and I would use again. And I came to a point where I had my dream home. I had a perfect job. I had everything, and I was surface sober because I had not made my way through the steps yet. And everything on the outside looked really, really good. But on the inside, I was still hurting. I was still dying. I was still drowning. And I cried out to God, Lord, if you're there, please help me. I need to learn how to forgive. If I don't learn how to forgive, I am going to go back out and use again. And he led me to Isaiah 53. And in Isaiah 53, I read how they pulled out his beard, how they beat him, how they spit on him, how they ripped the flesh off his back by beating him, how they nailed him to a cross and they crushed a crown of thorns down on his head, how at any time he could have called down 10,000 angels. And all I heard him say was, Char, was it not enough? Was it not enough? You have been forgiven. I have wiped you clean. You are white as snow. You just have to be willing to. And that's hard. Hard to know all the things I've done, all the harm I caused, still be able to forgive myself. God said I needed to see myself the way he saw me, not the way I see me, not the way the world tried to tell me it was. I was forgiven. As I continued through that step, I will tell you that I found so much freedom in my 4th step. I got to take accountability. I got to learn my part in things. And here's the thing, if we don't learn our part, we can't change it. For so long, I blamed everybody else for everything. But in that 4th step, I got to learn my part and how I could change and how God wanted to change me, that I didn't have to keep making those same choices over and over again. I didn't have to keep being that person over and over again. And then I also got to realize that I didn't have to claim some things, the things that happened to me as a child, my abusive ex-husband. I didn't have to take responsibility for the things that had been done to me like that. And I got to let go of that it was my fault. Because for a long time, I felt like what happened to me as a child was my fault. Because I didn't tell, and I didn't run away, and I didn't scream. I was 5. I got to realize that wasn't my fault. And I got to let go of that guilt and that shame. As I continued through my steps, I got to grow and I got to learn. I got to take accountability and ask God to remove character defects in me, ones that I didn't even know were there. And by the time I got to my 9th step, and I had to ask for forgiveness, my sponsor told me that the most important person I needed to ask for forgiveness from was myself. Can I tell you that took me a really long time? It doesn't have to take you that. And I asked God to show me how to forgive myself, Lord. How do I even say I'm sorry to myself? And he showed me at the foot of the cross as I walked to this 9th step, the old me, the raggedy me, the drug addicted me, the prostituted me, the one who had my kids out there on the street me, the broken, lost, and hurting me. And as she stood at the foot of the cross, I was able to walk up to her just as she was. And I got to wrap my arms around her and tell her, I love you, but you got to go. And as I laid her down at the foot of the cross, I got to bring up the 5-year-old little. She was smiling. And I got to tell her this was never meant for you to carry. This was not meant for you to hold on to. This was meant for you to lay at the feet of Jesus. This was meant to allow Jesus to heal you. There are some things only God can heal, but I had to get responsible for my healing. I had to make a choice to get outside the boat. I had to make a choice to be willing to walk through some things.